You know, magic is my fire, my one desire. I believe it when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart. Can't reach it to your heart when I say that I want magic that way. Totally ripped off Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, one of the two. I don't know. But I think it was Backstreet Boys. Yep, it was Backstreet Boys. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Another beautiful day, Mr. Superfast. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Excited. Talking about, does collectability mean money? Because so certain people in the community, I should say, not just people in broad, but certain people in the community, talk about the value of magic cards, and they go back saying the one thing that sold Magic as a product to being made was that it was a collectible card game. But I remember when I was a kid in the 90s, in elementary schools and middle schools, like people come in with anti-drug propaganda, anti-sex propaganda, bullshit like that. And they would have like trading cards that were worth like $0, but their selling aspect was they were collectible. You could trade them with friends and all that fun jazz. Even though I don't know why you would, because everything they gave you was the same thing they gave everybody else. So what are you really trading there? but still, what brings the issue is none of these things that they were collectible were valuable at all. Like, they were just pieces of cardboard or maybe some trinket toys or something they handed out just to make you feel good about yourself. And I need to throw my mic in front of me so I'm not turning my head all the time. But like, so I had a conversation yesterday with a good friend of the channel, and the conversation was about how Wizards of the Coast can't really force collectability in the secondary market, because no matter what they do, they're printing like 60-cent cards, and how the market receives it or the players receive it and how valuable the card is differs. And the more popular the game gets, the more valuable a card comes with money. But collectability, and I could look up the definition, which I'll look up the definition so we have, kind of like a non-hair splitting idea of what collectability is. And like, I know Wizards of the Coast prints money when they print out some cool cards, but really those cards could be worth nothing. And really quick. So collectability has two definitions. One is collecting of an item worth collecting of interest to a collector. Like, someone's books became increasingly collectible classics. Or two, able to be collected, a surplus collectible as rent by the landowner, So basically, collectability means being able to attain, and attain a collection or to attain something like an action, So so to get away from splitting hairs, we know that being collectible means you can collect something and have a bulk of, like you can collect a handful of pennies and your value will be exactly that, a handful of pennies, like maybe $1, 100 pennies, so it doesn't mean there's value there. But when you have collectability and value, that changes the game a little, because there are definitely things worth collecting in a different aspect, and it becomes a financial issue, a financial theme. And we have a little late bloomer. Yes, we do. We want to welcome Stasis Orb. Hello.
What's going on?
Good morning, Mr. Orb.
Good morning.
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 All right. So that's where I want to start the conversation on. But really quick, I want to say hi to everybody in chat and everybody who was in chat, because I know some people in chat will not be able to stay for the whole duration. I want to say hello, Vestable Collectibles. You said a lot of good stuff. Darc, hello. Hey everybody, we're sponsored by Darc through cardsartopia.com, who makes sweet dice bags and dice boxes, which my wife just ordered a dice box from her that I'm going to show off on my channel, but she's going to use on her YouTube channel when she starts. And you know what? It looks really good quality and pretty banger. Like, she has a very specific, unique design in her design process. It's like modern day Gothic and looks pretty awesome. You should check her out. She does a really good job. You guys check it out. Then I want to say hello to Mana Monk and Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime transforming his way into the chat. Hi, Prime Fro 6 Games. Mana Monk, greetings. Greetings. So we got through chat there, and I want to say hello. So what is your idea, Robert? I mean, what are you thinking about collectability? I mean, financials aside, like, is there anything you collect just because you want to collect it?
Yeah, actually. So to me, collectability versus value. Value is what other people put onto an item in my viewpoint, right? When we're talking about a card. So like if we're looking or a card or a car or gemstones or gold, that's what other people evaluate. Collectability is just, something that you want to attain. So for example, there's a specific swamp card from Invasion. My favorite artist did the swamps in Invasion, Ron Spencer. And there's a specific swamp. I fell in love with it, and I collect that swamp. The swamp's worth a couple of bucks just because it's from Invasion. It's old, and I don't think Ron Spencer's really done many basic land cards in the history of Magic the Gathering. So I collect that. I collect planeswalkers. I collect tokens, and I have cards that others value very highly that to me aren't really worth anything outside of sentimental value.
Right.
So to me, the card is worth nothing because I have no others value it. The market tells me it's worth money, but to me, it's not really worth anything.
Right.
So that's where Magic is kind of interesting. Like you can fall in love with a card like Camel from Arabian Nights and just collect camels, and it's a card from 94 that's 1993 94 that's worth like $5, and you can collect thousands of them. To the rest of the world, they're like, oh, it's just a jank common, but to you it's like, I love this card.
Oh yeah. like one of my favorite cards that I would collect if I just could just drop money on Magic like randomly, like surplus would be Unexpected Results. One, I think the card should be worth more money in value because of how good it is, what it does, because it's a 4-mana sorcery that costs 2 generic, a blue and a green. You shuffle your library as the first effect, and you reveal the top card of your library. If it's an online card, you may cast it for free. If it's a land card, you can put it into play, then shuffle it, put it back into your hand.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite cards, and like I would collect those just to have them. But they're like 50-cent cards, so there's no real strong value there. Even though I think since it's never been reprinted, it should go up in price. But but like I love the card, and so I would collect them. And I kind of have one that's sitting not in a deck, so I guess it's officially a collectible item.
Yeah.
So Stasis Orb.
Yo.
So I know you're not like much of a collector than you are a player because drafting is your main thing, but I know you collect fun things and different things of different oddities because I remember your little magnet puzzles and stuff. What are things you like to collect that most people would be like, that's okay, but you like, oh, I love this thing. Because I remember you used to have those magnet balls. And there's like these little balls that you try to get in a square, perfect square shape, and you can just play with them. You love little trinkets, which is an amazing aspect.
Yeah, I like little puzzles and stuff like that. That's something I actually do collect. I have quite a bit of them. Those little fidget puzzles that you have to
Mhm.
like. Some like it's like two chains linked together, and you have to find a way to untangle them and
Mhm.
remove them. Honestly, that's pretty much all like outside of magic, obviously, that I actually collect. I have quite a bit of those.
Right.
And yeah, that would probably be about it. I don't really have delved that far into hobbies or anything like that. I've been, like I said, I've been as we talked previously about the wooden puzzle things that I've
Mhm.
been building. Um, those have been a lot of fun. But I've been thinking, what would be my next hobby or whatever to collect, and I don't know. As of right now, it's just I would say magic. I still buy booster packs, and I just because I'm limited player doesn't mean I don't collect the cards. Like I have lots of cards. I
Mhm.
bought um oh, what set was it? What set had the 6 mana Vorn Klex? The one
Oh,
that doubles all counters and your opponent's
count
counter.
Call
was
time.
it call time? Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought like 5 collector boosters of that set.
Woo.
Just because I really, really like the cards in that set. That collector set was really, really good.
Right.
The newer ones I don't think are that good, but I mean outside of that, no. Um, but anything that I find valuable, I don't know. I guess like I don't know because I guess you got to kind of put like you got to decide whether because Robert hit around the head. It's what other people are willing to pay for something,
Mhm.
and I think it comes down to like for me it would be sentimental.
Mhm.
That's where I value my stuff. Like
Right.
it has to mean something to me, or else it doesn't. Like I'm willing to sell it if
Right.
someone wants to buy it, right? Um,
Mhm.
you talked. I talked to you about my playmat, and you said Robert would be really jealous of it. I still haven't sent that in to the Discord yet, but I'll be sure to send you a picture of it. But it's that has a high sentimental value to me. That was
Right.
a cool event. I went to GP Denver for that and met RK Post,
Mhm.
and he signed it and it was awesome. So yeah, and then I'll value that like extremely high. um i went to um I went to LCS, which is League of Legends, the big finals tournament,
Right.
finals, and I got to meet my so my favorite team is 100 Thieves, and the owner of 100 Thieves is Nade Shot, which he's a former Call of Duty pro player.
Right.
And I got to meet him. Not only did I get to meet him, but he also signed my 100 Thieves jersey. So even that has like, sentimental value. So I
Right.
don't know. It's just to me, it's all sentimental stuff. I don't really have, anything that's really collectible at this moment, other than I wouldn't consider my puzzles collectible. I mean, they're collectibles, but they're not. They're fun to trinket with, but
Right. No, good point. Because I know someone in this room today who has a sentimental collection of himself, of things that he's loved, grown up with, and keeps collecting. And that would be Coogie Dude down there, looking the handsome as ever. But he loves his music, grown up with music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that he's really loved. He doesn't have a lot of newer music, but man, he has a huge, vast collection. He could say he's a, what do you call it, an audiophile, where he loves
Uh,
his music, his radios, his stereos.
well, an audiophile is someone who has uh, high-end stereo equipment.
And yours,
Okay,
the equipment
and
you had was high end for back in the day, though.
yeah, I got nice stuff. I collect vintage audio. Not not everything vintage, but like cassette decks and stereo receivers, turntables. Uh,
Right.
but I collect albums, CDs, cassettes. I have cassettes from way back when I was. They're still good. I mean, I got cassettes from 74, 75 when they weren't really popular. I mean, it came out in 66. They're developed by Philips, and Philips developed the CD. The vinyl records I've been collecting forever. So I don't know how many I got, but I like the old stuff, the classic. I got country, I have a lot of country music and CDs, and then mainly is classic, what they call classic rock, which is from I'd say 1968 to 90 something, which they call classic rock, and then they have a lot of other genres. The grunge came out in the early 90s, and that killed the metal, because heavy metal was really big from 78 to like when 90, when the grunge came out, and grunge just kind of killed the heavy metal, so I used to collect baseball cards too. I don't have too many left. But everybody's right. The value of something is something what somebody's willing to pay for.
Right.
I got albums that are rare, but everyone's willing to pay more than $1 for it, and that's what it's worth. And some collectibles, there are some albums out there that are worth $15,000 to $20,000, and they were early releases or releases that had mistakes on them.
Right.
And then they had to release it because there's a mistake on it. And those early albums are, they're worth something to somebody.
Right. Something's always worth something to somebody, from sentimental value to hard cash value. That is very true. But like so, I say that a lot too. I realized, like, how many times I say "but like so," like I'm changing a subject. Though, see, I purposely said though, so I didn't say the same thing again. Value is in the eye of the beholder, and the one thing that makes a collective value is when a bunch of eyes see the same thing and value it the same way.
Yep.
That's another way of people coming in and saying, "Hey," like for example, Robert cannot be the only person who loves Winnie the Pooh holding and wielding a lightsaber. And if more people came out of the woodworks and said, "I love that kind of stuff," that picture that Robert has right there might be worth tons of money in the future. Especially with Lorcana and Star Wars crossover coming out in 2083, which I just totally made that up. No, I can see it working. Like, one thing
60 years into the future there.
Right. But one thing's for certain. One thing Robert could do for himself, and I was gonna suggest it to him, but he probably thought of it, is if he got like some of his favorite line work that looked pretty basic, then paid an artist to draw Winnie the Pooh on them and had a collection of Winnie the Pooh swamps.
Oh yeah.
Right? Those
I thought of doing that.
Yeah, those would not only be collectible but valuable to the right person.
I have thought of doing that. That would just be adding to my Winnie the Pooh collection, which I do have a pretty decent one of those. So, not gonna lie.
Right?
Me and that bear love each other.
And I know people in wait. Let me stop for a second. We have people in chat that jumped in and I've been ignoring, and I don't mean to do that. James Willis, what's up? You talking about Squeeze Toys? Yay! D Lawson, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, Man of Monk's like, he has Kiss 8 tracks. Hells yeah.
Kiss 8 track, yeah. I got quite a few. I don't have Kiss though.
I know you had some Kiss, but not 8 tracks.
No, not 8 track. No, I got the whole entire Kiss collection on a CD.
Mhm.
I really didn't like them at first, to change the subject, but I know
Mhm.
you guys were talking about value, so I don't want to really change the subject here.
You can chat. You can look. You can always change the subject. Doesn't mean we can't divert back.
Yeah,
That's
so
the point of
I
the
don't
point of
want
the show is to talk like we're at a lunch table. Sometimes topics come up and we go back to the main topic. It's how it works. It's how we be relaxed.
so well, and as I was saying that, when Kiss came out, I really liked the first 4 albums, but after that, I don't know what they did, but they really changed their music. And so I stopped buying Kiss stuff after probably after the Detroit Rock City. That
Right.
was one of their best selling albums. But, Kiss is one of those bands you either hate or you like. I'm kind of in the middle with them.
Mhm.
You know. So
Yeah.
I got another question. We're talking about value, and so if um, Derek knows, I mean, super fast knows that I what?
Oh, I'm just laughing because you corrected yourself on something you didn't need to correct. People know my name is Derek.
Okay, anyway, uh, so if you have a first edition card, uh, and then you have a say a fourth generation card, it's the same thing, and the value would just say is $1. Are both cards worth $1 since one's older and one's newer?
That
No.
actually that actually depends. There are some
Yeah.
older cards that are not as valued as newer cards because the treatment on the card is a lot different, unique. And some older cards are actually worth more than the newer cards because the vintage style really resonates better with it. That's all player based and collector based, depending on who likes what more.
Yep. It's artwork versus treatment versus rarity of the variation. There's a lot of factors that go
Yeah,
into it.
there's a
Like
handful of things that go into that.
Mhm.
like
For I can give an
Bajuka
example.
Bog.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say similar thing. Solemn Simulacrum, a sad
Yeah.
robot. They reprinted it in a later set, like way later, and it was like a I think like $6-7 card when it got reprinted. But if you had the original OG one from the original set, it was worth more. People paid like maybe $4 or $5 more. Now, if
Mhm.
you had it foil, even though both cards are exactly the same, if you had them both foil, the older one would still be like 20 $15 to $20, where the regular one, well, probably not now, but the newer one would only be like that, $10 mark or whatever. So it just depends. I think a card like that, it's the older is better. It just depends. If they change the art, I think that's as well. Like, they can improve a card, add better art to it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean its value is going to go up or anything like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
like with Bajuka Bog, it's a land card, um, been reprinted a million times. It's worth what, 50 cents, $1 normally. The Lord of the Rings variant, the Barrow Downs, has a completely different artwork, and it's $15 for the non-foil, and the Surge foil version of that is like $50.
Mhm.
So, and that's just completely different variant and foiling that caused the price difference. The card is functionally the same. So,
Okay. That's interesting to know.
Oh yeah. And like what Wizards is doing this thing where they're trying to force the collectability of value, because like their main sets are pretty generic, and yet here they are trying to make 1-of-1 cards. They're making 1 of 500 cards. They're trying to force the value in the collector's market lately, instead of trying to let it be natural because they're focused on all these reprint values, like how many people are looking at these reprints, and so they're trying to drop the value. Here's what it feels like. It's like they're trying to drop the value of the cards themselves, except for the forced valued cards that they're bringing in. You know, that's why we got these special 101 cards, 1 of 500s, special treatments. Excuse me, little different rarities, but really quick. Really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, because we're at the halftime of the show, basically. And I want to shout out carnsartopia.com, where you can buy neat dice bags, neat dice boxes, neat jewelry, custom ornaments, little dice pets. Well, I call them dice pets, but like dice dragons. You really need to call them dice pets, okay, Darc? Just do it. It's just easier that way. But you can do more than just dragons too. She's very creative and does really good quality work. Check her out. It's pretty spicy. All right. Yeah.
So I tend to agree with you on the reprint policy. Like WotC does feel like they're trying to make the base versions worth less, and by creating variants that are only available in collector boosters, the more expensive boosters, in essence lottery cards,
right?
Just take out the 1 of 1, take out the serialized. I mean, looking at Elish Norn, the step and complete version from Phyrexial will be one. The most expensive version is only available in collector boosters, so it's a lottery card in and of itself. So you look at it through that perspective. Yeah, it's that's 100% what they're doing. They're making the card availability higher. But if you want the most expensive version and you want to pull it, you don't want to pay for it, buy it as a single, you're buying the most expensive pack, which gives Wizards the highest monetary return on their product.
Oh, yeah. And in some cases, I think it's healthy for the format to keep the price of the game low and have your valuable pieces. But I've actually seen the repercussion of, and it's not a bad repercussion, but I've seen the repercussion where the fancy variant costs less than the original. In
some cases they do.
So that's not exactly a bad thing. Hello, TCG dude. Welcome. Hello.
And it depends, like, on the fancy variants on how they collate their set, really. Like, for example, if they had put, Brothers War, if they had put the Shattered Glass Transformers 1 in every 500 packs in the set boosters, then they would be, less valuable in essence than they are right now.
Right.
So it's just, it's their collation, their product collation, their product design, all that kind of stuff as to what. And also the variant desirability, like that Icar variant from Phyrexial will be one.
Right.
I'm not a fan. Leave the black and white crap at home.
You know what I liked was the oil slicks.
The oil slicks were pretty neat. Because they had texture and they were raised and the different coloration. It was those were pretty neat.
Right. And hopefully that's not a reprinted item, because it's very specific where the set it came out of, but the treatment was so unique. I hope it kind of stays there. But
I don't think it will be.
Right. So, but I loved it because the set of lands that James Willis sent me, the basics, love them. That's the only oil slicks I have is all the basic lands. I don't have no other ones. Yeah.
We might have to change that.
But what I did is I put them in my 5-color dinosaur deck because they're oil slicks. And what is oil made out of?
Dinosaurs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I deal in dinosaurs all day, every day, super fast.
That's right. That's why you're one of my heroes. All right. But yeah, so but like there's certain treatment. What I'm getting at with the oil slick stuff, there's certain treatments that I just don't think they're going to go back to very often.
Yeah,
That's part of that forced collectability and doing things. That's why like the oil slick, no, it's like the collector bundle they did with the oil slicks directly. I think that's crazy and insane. I think that's their forced collectability that they're doing, and it's working. I mean, one of the better sets I sold this year was Commander Masters, and everybody was crapping on the collectability of it.
Exactly.
Like even I pulled fire. I got lucky. I pulled fire. My wife and son went together and buying 2 packs of Collector's Masters for me, and I just pulled hot fire. Even though one of the cards that were worth the most money, I didn't really care about was the etched foil
Lotus.
Yeah, I was trying Jeweled Lotus, yeah.
Yep.
And like I was trying to trade that thing off because it was worth money, because I'm like, I'm not going to use it. I still today don't believe that card should exist in Commander format. But since I had such a low opinion on it and it had such a high value, I tried trading it off, but I ended up needing a new controller for my Switch, so I went and used the system of trade value and got a new controller for my Switch.
Yeah, you traded a couple pieces of cardboard and got a new controller.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Like parts of me kind of regrets it because the Jeweled Lotus kind of tempts me. That's kind of the collectible there, like the one ring. But at the same time, the secondary market still works. It still functions because I was able to trade those cards in.
Yeah, exactly. You're able to turn piece of cardboard or 2 pieces of cardboard that you're not going to use into something you are going to use, and to me that's amazing.
Oh yeah, the cool and just to spit my favorite card that I pulled out of those packs, because I got the red free card. What the cycle's
the
called?
Deflecting SWAT.
Yeah, I had a full art Deflecting SWAT.
Love that
I traded with it. That I traded with the Mox Lotus. Or not Mox Lotus, the Jeweled Lotus. The coolest card in there for me was the foil Demonic Tutor. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you straight pulled a God pack. I mean, that yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Like I would have recorded it, the opening of the packs, but the family wanted to see my reaction, not knowing what I was going to pull. They wanted to see my reaction all together, and I didn't have time to set up. But they wanted to see my reaction of opening packs, and holy cow, I was so stoked that I won the lottery of Commander Masters.
To be fair, I mean, I've opened quite a few boxes of Commander Masters, and I've only really lost on one.
Right.
So the rest of them, I either pulled equal dollar value to dollar paid or higher than. So Commander Masters was it was an expensive lottery ticket to buy into was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pricey bullet, but great set.
But thinking about it, that high value protected the value of the cards, because a lot of cards from that set did not drop.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that was the intelligence behind the charging extra.
Yeah, it was honestly, Wizards kind of knows what they're doing, even though the product and players in general rejected Commander Masters.
Right.
I think honestly, I think they were a little too high in their valuation. If they had done it a little bit lower, it would have been a lot better off for everybody. But and I'm not saying drop it, $100 draft booster box, $120 set booster box, but just a little bit lower would have been a lot better for everyone. So, but that's real touchy set to talk about in this community.
Well, you know what? We can talk about it and have good feelings about it, because to me, the thing that gets me excited about reprint sets is when they actually reprint good cards. Worth pulling, worth playing, being the key word there, playing. And that's what Commander Masters was. There was cards in that set worth playing. So the value wasn't in the money, the value was in the playability.
Yeah.
You know,
and it was an amazing draft experience. I'll say that for 100%.
That I'd have to take your word for, because that set was too expensive for me to drop that kind of money on. I didn't even know I was going to get the 2 packs I got. So I was
right.
but
right.
But you know, because of it, we all have hopes and dreams when it comes to our decks and the collectability of them, and that set really did good for the format. But we really just came back off a set of came off the back of 2 expensive sets.
Yeah,
and that was tough. You know, I don't think Wizards really thought that through, other than they're trying to see how much money we can pull off the market.
Yeah, and that's their goal. That's their focus. They said it in their fireside chat, you know, basically talking about how much of the wallet we can get our hands into. Chris Cox said it flat out. That's what they want, is to test the waters, see how much money they can get. And they're you know, to that end, they're doing really well. They're doing really well. So
TCG Dude says, I don't recall anyone noting Commander Masters was the 10-year anniversary of Commander product. Maybe I'm mistaken. What year did Commander decks first drop from Wizards? The first year was around
2013.
Yeah, around that time. So maybe it was the 10-year, but you know, if Wizards didn't celebrate it, why should we remember it?
Yeah.
You know, they didn't say this is the 10th year anniversary. Let's celebrate big. I mean, they're still on the heels of Magic 30. Okay, so
well, this year is the official Magic 30, quote unquote.
Right.
You know, because the 30th year is 93. It was official came released 93, not 92.
Right.
So it was still alpha was in development in 92. So we're still in it.
So I guess it's a good thing it wasn't created in 92 or 91, because those are years that have been hard to celebrate.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
Magic 30th celebration at home. Blow out a candle.
Right.
So just a general question: do you guys collect cards for value or for playability?
That varies on the person, actually, before they answer.
Yeah. So, like, I have some cards that are really high value, but to me, they're only worth what I can get out of them. That's it. But what I collect, what I truly hold on to and enjoy, like, for example, I've been playing since beta. And from my very first pack, I have a single card that I've kept these whole 30 years, and it's Holy Armor, of all things. I still have that card. It's in my collection. All the times I've dropped out of Magic and sold and given away all my cards and that kind of stuff, that card has stayed with me. Nice. And it will never leave. That is my card. So
how about you, Stasis Orb?
I mean, I have some pretty high value stuff myself. As a matter, because I told you I opened up all those collector boxes. I have a few of those Phyrexian Vorn collectors, which was pretty sweet. I got the full art one. Didn't get a foil full art one, but I did get one of the full art Phyrexian. That's awesome though. The Phyrexian writing on those is so sweet. And I have a unopened original Innistrad Fat Pack, which I found at this card shop that was here in town. They had some pretty old stuff there. It was pretty neat because they didn't really have like a Magic community there, but the owner, she just held on to everything for so long. And I asked her how much did she want for the Innistrad Fat Pack. She said $100. I was like, I'll take it.
That's actually a good deal.
Yeah, I was like, I'll take it. And then now I have that. And then as well as like I think my most valuable thing I have is my unopened from the Vault Relics.
Yep.
I think that's the most value thing I have right now.
Can't
'cause
believe
that-
you still have that unopened. Like,
yeah,
I'm
yep,
such a
still-
derp, I'm such a derpy player. I would open that thing so much, so hard, and cramp things in the deck.
for sure. Yeah, because that I don't even know what is that Mox
That's the
Diamond
one
going for.
like $500.
Quite a
I
bit.
think.
Nah, more than that. More than that,
Really?
I think.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Unopened from the Vault Relics is pretty high.
$685 is the buy list price. $774 is how much it's selling for.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's on TCG Player, the lower end of selling.
Super fast. You talk about forced collectability.
Yeah.
There's your forced collectability right there. The from the
Right.
Vault series. The premium Shards of Alara packs.
Right.
There's some more that was all foil, like quote unquote the unofficial first all foil packs.
Right.
Were Shards of Alara. There's your forced collectability that Hasbro's been doing for 15 years, 16 years.
Ooh.
So
yeah. Like I have something coming for the auction in in the future from a friend, and we were talking about it, and I don't want to give it away yet, but I can give it away. It's from a vault thing. So because they're trying to spice it up. I don't want to give away too much because to me it's one of my favorite ones that I wanted. So this friend who knows who he is at the moment, like, has been pushing cards that I want to keep for myself and to sell. I'm like, you bastard.
You bastard. You
but no. But like collectability for me, Daddy-O's, is like I like collecting cards, but I like collecting cards that I can put in decks and play, because in the end, I want to show my skill and talent as a deck builder and player to show through my cards, and I want the cards I play to be my collectibles.
Right.
Okay.
You know, so that's where most of my value goes. Like in my cube's my precious. My precious. Yes, it's my precious.
So you cubed your thing. I got it.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
that's where my most valuable cards are.
That's
Okay.
because super fast is a square.
That's right.
That's right.
Pause. Hey, Prime. Hey, welcome.
What's up, Palsy and Prime?
Driving, can't talk much. That's fine. Just chill, relax, enjoy the show. And man, this show's gone by quick. You know, we're already 43 minutes into the show.
Hey, we start talking about collectability versus value. I'm all in, man.
Well,
Mhm.
you know,
I collect some things that have zero value.
Except that it has value to yourself.
Well, the only value it has to me is that I think they're neat. Like,
right?
I go hiking. If I run across like an old deer kill site or something, and I find a cool looking bone, that thing's coming
antlers.
back home.
Yeah,
or antlers. That's coming back home. That has
Yeah.
no value to anybody, not even to me, but it just looks cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
a
that's true.
stick.
Right. And like even my wife, she collects like little derpy toys, like these little kids' toys. Like, you know, those mystery balls of toys. They're like little miniature versions of toys. She loves those. She loves these little squeaky little toys. And not much of them are worth a lot of money. Sometimes some of them are, but she just loves them for them. She doesn't care that they're worth money. She cares that they're in her collection. She gets to look at them, play with them.
I straight go Marge Simpson. I just think they're neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
You know,
yeah, I collect albums. You know, I don't really care about the value because they're collectible to me, and I love my collection. I got it. My whole office or man cave is just surrounded with music.
Yeah.
You know,
I gotta know, Mr. Koji. I have to know something. Do you have Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell?
I do.
There you go. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he has a
I got-
cassette.
I
I
got
know
all-
for sure he has a record and a cassette of that album.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Hell yeah. I love Meatloaf. That
I
dude's
got all
awesome.
3 of his albums.
Same.
Bad Out of
Same.
Hell, Bad Out of Hell 2, and he put out a 3rd album 10 years later. Just before he died.
And if I remember correctly, he has a Rocky Horror Picture Show record, which has a song by Meatloaf on it.
That's
Yes,
correct.
you are
Love
correct.
Rocky Horror too.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yep, that was pretty good to go see it in the theater.
Here comes
It's pretty weird.
Mhm.
So it's pretty weird. Sometimes I got albums I collect that I really don't care about, but I have them just to have them. I don't really listen to them much.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. What's going on? DJ, I see you, but why are you talking about links in chat?
He always TCG dude's coming onto the table tonight. He's gonna dance. He's gonna dance on the table for everybody. That's what I heard anyway.
He's gonna skate on his deck tax or his tech decks, his little skateboard thing.
Yes. Yes.
Do like a miniature ollie.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Well, yeah, I remember my skater days.
Mine lasted all of like 12 seconds when I was young in the 80s. So, I figured out I wasn't coordinated and I'm not good enough for that crap.
Yeah.
I say skater days, but really as a rollerblader, I loved rollerblading. I cannot stand on a skateboard for the life of me. My feet are too quirky for that. My feet lean in like this.
I remember my first skateboard in the 60s. There's just a piece of wood with a couple wheels on it.
Right?
Yeah. They weren't very good.
Yeah,
I killed myself a few times.
That'll happen. Yep. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up with skateboards, and come to find out I didn't like skateboarding as much as I enjoyed biking. And then I fell in love with biking. I thought BMX was better. And then I got into rollerblading, and I really actually enjoyed rollerblading a lot.
Right.
One of my first bikes was a Schwinn with a banana seat. So back in the 80s.
Wow.
Hunk of crap.
Wow.
I love that hunk of crap bike.
Yeah.
In my older ages, I prefer biking over all the rest because it's more relaxed and fitting for someone who's overweight and needs to exercise.
Well, that's why I like driving. It suits my Pooh lifestyle.
Like I made a bike. It was like a half Schwinn and half Stingray. And I had like a 12-inch tire in front and a 26 tire in the back, and I had long forks on it. That thing was crazy. It was really hard to ride because you got the little tiny wheel in front and the big wheel in the back.
Low rider of bicycles.
Yeah, it was weird. It's just made out of parts that I had lying around. So I was probably like 12. We just had bike parts laying around. We put them together somehow. That was a long time ago.
Right.
They probably
back in the day when you had to ride your bike uphill both ways.
That's right.
In the snow too.
In the snow.
In the snow and hail and everything. 90 mile an hour winds.
There was a meme that I saw the other day. It was like a group of people going up a hill, going up a mountain in the winter or whatever. And it's like a rare photo of my parents going to school every morning.
I saw that the other day too.
I saw that same one.
That's so funny.
What's funny is when I lived in Brigham City, Utah, going to school was up and downhill both ways because I had basically lived on one side of the hill, had to walk up the hill, and school was down the other side of the hill, so I had to walk down the hill, and each way is up and down.
Up and down.
Yeah, and I had to walk to school because I was 2 blocks away from my bus stop, so I couldn't ride the bus.
Oh, you couldn't ride the bus?
Yep, it was a 2-mile walk. Yay!
Yeah.
When
Does the snow get deeper every time you tell the story?
Nope, it still stays around my ankles.
His ankles just get longer.
Yep.
That's funny.
when I lived in Washington Terrace, where Derek used to come over and hang out, it was like the it's the south side of Ogden.
Yeah, south side.
And it's uphill. Like it's all uphill. So to go north, you got to go down north and up south. It always sounded weird to me. It was like we got to go up south. Wait, up south? That doesn't make down north.
Yeah.
Talk about dedicated friendship. I'd walk 16 miles to that fucker's house, and he would just be like, "Hey, you're here."
Hey, you're here.
What am I supposed to? What else am I supposed to say? Like,
thank you for showing up. That was a long walk from work. I worked on the north side of Ogden, and sometimes he'd be like, "Hey, come over after work." I'm like, "Okay," and I'd walk 16 miles to his house.
16 miles. I don't know if I'd walk 16 miles to anybody's house.
Well, I couldn't do that to anywhere, but dude, friends were more important than regular life.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know,
Well, yeah, I know. I still wouldn't do it.
Right, and it was an 8-mile walk. Like it was an 8-mile walk from my house. But there will be sometimes they're like, "Hey, let's hang out." Okay, we'll meet you halfway. We'll meet halfway. Let's meet in the middle. We'll meet right here.
Quite a few times actually.
Yeah.
So sometimes we go to Denny's.
Denny's. Or was it Village Inn right there?
No, we don't go to that Village Inn. We don't go to that. No, there actually is a reason. I worked at that Village Inn. That was right before when I first moved in with Derek. We lived in Ogden together. That was my first job, and my manager, we were having a lunch rush, and he came into the kitchen to help me because I was the only cook there that day, and he came in to help me, and he pulled one of the chicken fried steaks out of the deep fryer. And he went to go put it on a plate, but it slipped off the plate and fell on the floor. And he picked it up and threw it back in the deep fryer and lifted it out and put it on the plate and, served it out. And I was just like, oh, hell no.
Oh, wow.
I was like, yeah, nope. I actually quit that day. I quit during that lunch rush because I had too many certifications. I just got out of school, and I was just like, I'm not going to lose all my stuff because you decided to make that decision. Yeah. And he's like, you can't quit during lunch rush. I'm like, watch me.
Right.
As I walked out the door, I was like, nope, not worth it. So I don't recommend anybody to go to that Village Inn on 12th Street in Ogden, Utah. Avoid it at all costs.
Wow.
I think it closed.
Oh, it closed? It was still there when I was there, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It still ran the same manager too.
I was there 2 years ago. I think it closed. But there's a lot of places that closed in opening because they've been building it up. So like I've seen in 2 years ago. Well, it was a year and a half. When was it we went to Utah? It was not too long ago, honestly.
Is that when we went when you met us there?
No. This last time we went to visit mom.
Your mom?
Visit mom and hang out there for a week. And man, that's when I got to go to 7-Eleven twice.
Ooh. Twice.
I know. Yeah, lucky bastards like you guys who have 7-Elevens just neighboring yourself. I have to cross the country to go to a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I remember when you.
I will say I don't miss 7-Eleven.
Dude, you spent so much money. You miss so much. You spent so much money at 7-Eleven when we lived on Capitol Street.
Oh yeah, for sure, because it was right around the corner. It was so convenient. But when I lived in Washington Terrace, guess what? The Maverick up the street that was around the corner started getting all my business.
We lived off their burritos off Maverick.
Oh yeah, yep.
Maverick. Is that the Maverick gas station?
Yeah,
yeah.
Mavericks become the primary gas station of Utah, basically.
It's Adventure's first stop.
Well, they have a Maverick down here, and they in Reno here, in one of the Mavericks, and they regutted it and they made it really bad because used to have a big food selection.
Mhm.
They narrowed it just to a couple sandwiches, and it's not really good anymore. The Maverick here.
No.
Well, I guess that depends on how much money they make at that location. They had to make the changes to fortify.
Well, yeah,
amount
it's
of
the only
money they
gas
can bring.
station. It's the only gas station in that area.
Right.
Mhm.
But
I think
like, but it depends on how many people actually use it, buy from it, and go.
yeah, I like the Maverick. I mean, uh, when I was a kid, we used to go out at night and we'd stay out at night, and then on the way home, we'd stop at a 7-Eleven and we'd buy a big burrito, you know, from the 7-Eleven, and we'd go home. And the 7-Eleven is still there. It's been there like 50 years.
Oh yeah, it's 50 years.
50 years.
Like your collection of music is like 50 years old.
That's right.
Awesome music. You have a lot of good
Awesome.
music. Even though I don't agree with all your music, you and your kids and your long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on it. I never had long hair because when it grew out, or it fell out, it curled, and I didn't like the curls, so I just never
You don't like
grew
the
long.
curls? I use like the curls I got in the back of my head. People
Yeah.
call it king's hair, and I still get them.
I don't know what they call it, but no, thank you.
No, thank you. Well, yeah. Also, you were military, so you kind of got used to short hair too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
and I don't think you really want long hair when you're in the desert.
Well, you get to collect sand fleas.
Sand fleas. Whoop whoop.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's like having a little extra snack when you're hungry. You just pull one off your head.
That's right.
That's
You know?
right.
Protein. That's right.
You've had
All
no
right.
fun. You've had no fun till you've had sand fun.
Well, right. Then all the crazy stuff that happened. I mean, you guys did a lot for us for the country when you guys were there for a bit. So we appreciate it 100%.
Yes, well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
now we turn the tide over and we start going to the closing ceremonies of the show. Stasis Orb.
Yes, sir.
How's that YouTube channel coming?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not yet.
Not yet. So no shill.
Yeah, I need to figure things out beforehand, but I'll let you know. I'll talk to you.
All right, Robert.
Yeah,
Are you gonna be on tonight's round table?
I am, or at
Hell
least
yeah.
I definitely plan to.
Definitely plan to. You and your
Yeah.
Pooh Bear self. All right.
That's right.
So don't forget tonight, here, Thursday, right? September 21st. Make sure to be on DJ Longhair's channel for the round table. Talk about what's going to happen at MagicCon and the excitement you guys are going to have to bring for the filming. Yes, I'm shilling for DJ because he's in chat. Yeah, I'll be on the round table too. You know, we're going to cheer things up because we're excited to see the content that's going to come out because of it. And with that, everybody, I want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing the video. Thank you, new subscribers who subscribe to the channel. You all rock. And with that, we're going to end on this note.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for